I'm Bob Sokoler in Boston in front of the real Cheers. Don't go to bed yet. We're going to take you behind the scenes coming up.
Also ahead, big news about Dion and the Braves.
Is Atlanta becoming a haven for racial hatred? A frightening new report.
And what did Sarah Tokars know? Tonight, an exclusive look inside the secret files of Fred Tokars.
Also tonight, a house that may be filled with explosives. Homes around it have been evacuated. We'll have a live report next on 11 Alive News Tonight.
En Sears HomeLife todo es bello y elegante. Juegos de muebles contemporáneos y clásicos. Y también hay una gran selección de cómodos matres que ahora tienen entre 10 hasta 20% de descuento. Para amueblar su hogar, Sears HomeLife.
I thought it was dynamite.
Arm & Hammer Dental Care. What's it like the first time?
Such a clean, healthy feeling, like the dentist just cleaned my teeth. And that's a wonderful feeling.
That fresh from the dentist feeling. It's because Arm & Hammer has twice the baking soda of any other major brand and all the cavity-fighting fluoride dentists recommend.
When I come out of the dentist office, my teeth feel as perfect as they're going to be. And that's the feeling I get every time I brush.
Arm & Hammer Dental Care. All the fluoride, twice the baking soda for that fresh from the dentist feeling of clean.
En Sears HomeLife todo es bello y elegante. Juegos de muebles contemporáneos y clásicos. Y también hay una gran selección de cómodos matres que ahora tienen entre 10 hasta 20% de descuento. Para amueblar su hogar, Sears HomeLife.
From WXIA-TV, 11 Alive. This is 11 Alive News Tonight.
Live pictures from the original Cheers bar in Boston. We'll have a special report on Cheers' last call and a live look at getting ready for tonight's special edition of The Tonight Show.
Inside Fred Tokars' secret files, an 11 Alive News investigation reveals for the first time what Sarah may have learned about her husband before her murder.
And Atlanta used to be the city too busy to hate. Tonight, a frightening report says hatred is becoming a Georgia trademark. Good evening. A busy news night, and we'll have all the stories in just a couple of minutes.
But first, let's go live to Sue Yanello. She's in North Gwinnett County, and Sue, officials may have a house filled with explosives.
That's right, John. There could be a potentially dangerous situation here in a neighborhood in Gwinnett. So dangerous that federal agents have evacuated about 3 houses. Now, we are about a mile away from the scene. Down this road, federal agents are keeping us away. But we have pictures earlier at the scene as the explosive unit of alcohol, tobacco, and firearms moved in. That's the truck right there. Agents say they believe a man in the house at 702 Peachtree Ridge Road is harboring a house full of explosives. They won't say what kind of explosives. They won't say where the tip came from, but neighbors say it's no secret. They say the man is a former chemical engineer who used to build Patriot missiles for a living at the Rockwell plant here in Gwinnett. They tell me he made a hobby of setting off explosives, and that 4th of July at his house was usually quite a show.
The mad scientist lives next door, creates sonic booms of whatever sort.
You used to call him the mad scientist.
Everybody did.
Why?
Because he always was playing with gunpowder or whatever, shooting off fireworks. Fireworks with no sparkles, fireworks that only shook the ground and rocked the houses.
Now, there are about 20 agents in the house right now looking for explosives. Again, 3 homes evacuated, and police won't say where the man is, but they do tell me they have not made any arrests. Back to you.
All right, Sue, keep us posted.
We will.
A frightening report about hatred in Georgia will be released tomorrow.
We've obtained a copy tonight. It shows hate groups in our state growing like never before. 30 active organizations operating in our state right now, making us #1 in the nation. Nearly 150 hate crimes, everything from racist graffiti to murder. Doug Evans looks at the racist underground becoming more visible than ever.
Skinheads rally in Pulaski County last January. Just last April, more than 200 celebrate Adolf Hitler's birthday. The party draws neo-Nazis from across the country. The 2 organizers live right here in metro Atlanta, Jason and John. Caps and hair cover their scalps, but make no mistake, in their hearts, they are Nazi skinheads. By all accounts, skinheads in Georgia have been very busy lately. True or false?
I wouldn't say very busy, but we've been busy.
Doing what?
Just our normal activities, such as recruiting.
The state of Georgia, at the present time, leads the country in numbers of documented hate groups.
Neighbors Network, a watchdog group, has released this report, and though the cover shows the future generation of the KKK, Reeves says the group to watch and fear in Georgia is the skinheads.
What we are dealing with is a movement that is actively recruiting and propagandizing amongst young people, some as young as 15 and 14 years of age.
Schools? Only we have friends that are in schools that do that for us.
We have documented instances of Nazi organizing in middle schools here in the metro Atlanta area.
In fact, most of the Klan and skinhead groups in Georgia are located in metro Atlanta. We took the report to the GBI anti-terrorist squad. They cannot confirm the study's claims of 144 documented hate crimes. The GBI does agree the Klan is fading, but worries the skinheads are much more active.
Yes, they've been here more in the last 2 or 3 months than they were here, let's say, last year.
The fact that you guys are out recruiting, trying to increase your numbers, the fact that you're meeting regularly, scares people to death. Are you proud of that image?
No, they better be scared.
John and Jason tell us that the most violent group of skinheads hangs out here in Little Five Point, the Sharps, skinheads against racial prejudice. Their specialty, attacks on homosexuals. John and Terry?
Thank you, Doug.
Investigators looking into the murder of Gold Rush show bar owner Lamar Jeffcoat may have a key piece of evidence tonight. Inside this cooler is a gun divers found in a Fayette County pond. Police will only say it's a critical piece of evidence, but sources tell 11 Alive News it may be connected to Jeffcoat's murder. 5 local law officers face charges in that case. A 15-year-old boy charged with murder made his first appearance in court today. Santonio Whetstone will be tried as an adult on charges that he murdered 25-year-old Andy Jarrett. Jarrett was shotgunned to death last week as he walked home from orchestra practice. Whetstone will be in a lineup, so that's why we didn't show his face.
Her car is wrecked, her boyfriend dead, and tonight the victim of a high-speed police chase tells her story. This was the car Michelle Wilson was in after police chased 3 suspects through Midtown 2 weeks ago. The suspects smashed head-on into this car being driven by Michelle's boyfriend. He was killed. She survived and for the first time tells her story.
There's no reason for there to be a police chase going on in the middle of rush hour. It's not even like it's just barely the beginning. It's the middle of rush hour traffic on a major street. I drive up 10th Street every day. It's not like traffic isn't busy. And I was just like, was it really that important? And I know it wasn't worth what happened. I know it wasn't.
Police are investigating the crash, but they say the chase was justified because the suspects had just assaulted and robbed a bank customer. 11 Alive News is about to break very new information in the numerous investigations of Fred Tokars.
November 29, 1992, Sarah Tokars was brutally shot to death in her car in front of her 2 small boys. Shortly after Sarah's murder, Cobb authorities named her husband, Fred Tokars, as a suspect. Sarah, it was learned, had looked into Fred Tokars' safe. What she saw has given rise to separate investigations, a Cobb County murder investigation and a federal investigation into drugs and money laundering. Tonight, for the first time, you will see what Sarah saw as Dean Phillips takes you inside Fred Tokars' secret files and shows us the Caribbean connection.
Where the sky meets the sea and the blues melt together, where the sand is pure white and stretches wide and far, where people go for an almost secret vacation, away from the jam-packed tourist traps. These are the Turks and Caicos Islands. These are home to rare seashells, and according to the United States government, home to shell corporations, bogus businesses, part of international money laundering.
Island Scout, may I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for the Atlas Insurance Company.
Just a moment, please. I'm sorry, sir, but I show nothing on the Atlas Insurance Company.
You have no listing for the Atlas Insurance Company?
No, sir.
Okay, how about another company, Stoltz Lindman?
Sorry, sir, nothing on that either.
Arabian European Enterprises Limited.
No, I'm sorry, sir, nothing on that either.
11 Alive News has learned of at least 3 companies listed on documents in Fred Tokars' safe. Atlas Insurance, Stoltz Lindemann, and Arabian European Enterprises all exist on paper in the Turks and Caicos Islands, but cannot be reached, don't have phones, don't have addresses. One federal investigator calls the scenario a textbook for the possible laundering of drug money. And the federal grand jury meeting here for the past 2 months wants to know if the author of that textbook is Fred Tokars. In fact, he's prided himself as an expert on the subject in the past. He wrote this article. It's titled, How Lawyers Help Drug Dealers Launder Money.
And now some recent history that you heard exclusively here on 11 Alive News. There was our story on the federal investigation into these two nightclubs in Atlanta, Diamonds and Pearls. The owner suspected of using the clubs as a front for drug sales. Recall Fred Tokars was a business associate with the club's owners. Later, our investigation revealed that Tokars owned numerous companies based here at his former law office. But the companies had no apparent purpose, no employees, no phones. Again, existing only on paper. Then our investigation began to reveal the contents of Fred Tokars' safe. We found numerous notations about the Turks and Caicos Islands. The United States government telling us those islands are notorious for money laundering. But the feds were still looking for answers.
Whenever you have a money laundering case or allegations involving money laundering, that of and in itself is a degree of complexity. There is no smoking gun sometimes. There isn't an eyewitness to illegal conduct.
As a matter of fact, there are official roadblocks. These are British properties, and they have rules that make getting at the truth in the Turks and Caicos nearly impossible. Only a small percentage of the companies there have to reveal their purpose and their ownership to the outside world.
Probably about 20%.
Ordinary companies are 20%.
Yeah, very, very, very roughly.
So 80% of the companies in general, sir, have to have no accounting to the outside world.
Yeah, they are offshore companies.
Our investigation of Fred Tokars takes us to still one other island. Further east in the Caribbean, there is Montserrat, a tiny place just south of Antigua. There existed the Grand Duchess of Luxembourg Bank. It was shut down by local authorities for failing to provide government with information about its operation. Authorities telling us the Grand Duchess of Luxembourg Bank only existed on paper. It also existed on documents found in the safe of Fred Tokars. Tokars' relationship with the bank and the companies we have named is beginning to unfold. The pieces of the puzzle are being presented to a federal grand jury here in Atlanta. Were proceeds from alleged drug sales at area nightclubs laundered through Tokars' front companies here in Atlanta, further laundered into companies in the Turks and Caicos Islands. The money going through a now defunct bank on Montserrat Island. The money ultimately loaned back to businesses here in Atlanta. And when could the grand jury issue indictments? And the answer to the last question is we cannot say for sure, but the chief prosecutor for the feds in this area has turned in his resignation to the new administration. He has told us he wants the investigation completed before leaving office. Again, all along there have been two investigations, the federal investigation into drugs and money laundering, the Cobb investigation of Sarah Tokars' murder. They've been going along side by side, but tomorrow night we will show you how the investigations have actually crossed over into each other. Indeed, the feds and the locals are working together to solve the murder of Sarah Tokars. Tomorrow night at 11 we'll show you how and why.
And Tokars continues to stay quiet and out of sight.
Down in Palm Beach, Florida.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep.
Johnny's here with Wake Up Weather. Johnny?
Fair skies through the rest of tonight and rather cool temperatures. Low temperature should be about 51 degrees tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Johnny.
Big news about Dion and the Braves.
Fred Khalil blew the story wide open at 6. He'll have a live report and a follow-up next. Bob?
I'm Bob Sokoler in Boston in front of the real Cheers bar. That's the Bull and Finch pub. Don't go to bed yet, folks. We'll take you behind the scenes of Cheers plus a Cheers trivia test. Let's see how well you know the real Cheers story. That's coming up.
So for that and more, stay with us.
You're watching 11 Alive News tonight. More local news coverage with Terry Merriman and John Pruitt, Johnny Beckman's weather, and sports with Fred Khalil.
Page 355.
Medications that can rob you of your sex life.
Page 141.
The secret ingredient in Italian foods that can help lower cholesterol.
Page 545.
How to silence a snorer.
This incredible book belongs in every home. The Doctor's Book of Home Remedies, from the editors of Prevention Magazine Health Books.
Over 670 pages of astonishing home remedies, all scientifically proven. Yours free for 3 full weeks.
Page 341.
Why you should never buy color toilet paper.
Now the information you need to cure over 130 common health problems is always on hand.
Act now and you'll also get this fabulous book, Meals That Heal, free.
Page 497.
Use oatmeal to end the itch of poison ivy.
Page 570.
Call now to get the doctor's book of home remedies free for 3 weeks. Keep it and we'll bill you in 4 easy installments of only $6.99.
Call 1-800-641-3737.
The following is for veterans, their spouses, and widows aged 50 to 75.
Lottery tickets. We never missed a week. My husband and I knew the odds were ridiculous, but it's only a couple of bucks, and it was fun. Then Ron died 6 months ago, and I found out we didn't have enough life insurance. I owed almost $6,000. Turns out we could have easily afforded extra life insurance for the price of a couple of these.
Veterans Life Insurance Company announces term life insurance for as little as $1 a week, just for veterans, their spouses, and widows aged 50 to 75. Call this toll-free number for free information. There's no medical exam, no waiting period, and your benefits never go down.
I have my own policy now from Veterans Life, so someday my kids won't have to go through what I just did.
Call 1-800-638-1400 now for free information about $1-a-week insurance from Veterans Life Insurance Company. Operators are standing by.
Well, NBC was hoping for the biggest ending in television history tonight.
But the Cheers celebration isn't over yet. Now, this is the enormous crowd gathered right now in Boston at the original Cheers bar, the Bull and Finch. All the stars of the show are here tonight, along with Jay Leno, and he'll be coming on live after our newscast.
Our Bob Sokoler is also in Boston with the stars tonight. And Bob, we understand you've been talking with Mr. Leno.
Yeah, and we're going to talk to him in just a second. But first, I got to tell you, thousands of people showed up here tonight, despite the rain, which has stopped here in Boston, to be on hand for this final Cheers episode and then to see The Tonight Show. Let me show you some pictures that we took just a short time ago, actually about 8 o'clock tonight. The cast of Cheers started to arrive here at the Bull and Finch pub. Sam, Carla, Woody, they received cheers, as you can hear, and applause from the 1,000 or so people seated in the bleachers. There are thousands of other Cheers fans lining Beacon Street, thousands more a block or so away at the Boston Commons. Rhea Perlman and other cast members say they are thrilled to be in Boston.
The one other time was 200th show. We all came here, and it was like we were the Beatles. And here we are again. I never thought it would be, again, more. And it is, you know, they're doing it again. So it's just, they're great. They're great. It's an amazing thing to come into this.
I just feel lucky to be here, you know. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it. And then like a couple of days ago, I was watching Jane Pauley, you know, and she was interviewing all the guys and stuff. And I just went crazy. I just felt like I really had to be here, you know.
And just seconds ago, both Ted Dancy, and Woody were all hanging out at the Hampshire House. They've been peeking out throughout the evening here, looking at the crowds assembled here below. Now, we're about to give you a Cheers trivia test, but first I want to tell you something. The cast comes up here twice a year to shoot in front of the bar here, the Bull and Finch pub, and what happens is they take the awnings off and replace them with red awnings. So if you squint your eyes now and listen carefully, you may just hear that famous song. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows. For 11 years, that song and these faces have given us reason to smile. Cheers was actually based on the fast-paced John Cleese British comedy, Fawlty Towers.
Something for your fellow man, of service. I mean, today, people just expose... Yes, I'm coming, wait a moment.
But instead of a hotel, the setting for Cheers was based on Boston's Bull and Finch pub. After 275 episodes, we've learned a lot about the show and its characters. For example, you probably know the address of Cheers is 112.5 Beacon Street. But do you know how many bar stools fit around the bar? If you said 26, you're right. You may also know the bar's capacity is 75 people.
Afternoon, everybody.
Oh, no! But take a guess how many times Norm's name was shouted over the 11 years of Cheers.
What's going on, Mr. Peterson? Let's talk about what's going in, Mr. Peterson.
The total comes to 108 times. And any idea how many extra teeth are genetically inherited by Cliff Clavin's family? Well, according to Cliff...
Clavin family, that we all have 2 extra teeth? You see, that's the only way that we can prove that we are the rightful heirs to the Russian throne.
Hello in there, Cliff.
Now, here's an easy question for some hardcore Cheer fans. How many times did Sam actually propose marriage to Diane?
Well, a lot of people out there waiting for a wedding, and
No bride, no groom. Guess it's up to us, huh?
The correct answer here is 5 times. And Carla had 4 kids when Cheers started. Do you remember how many she has now?
He had a hand in helping Chuck and Di. Speaking of that, why don't you up Chuck and Di?
The answer, 8. And this final question may be the toughest of them all. If Cheers kept a running bar tab on Norm during the past 11 years, how much would his final tab be? Well, if you figure 8 mugs of beer a day at $2 a mug minus the free beers on Norm's birthday, the total would come to $64,218.
Woody, you're back in business. Shop away there. Oh, no.
Quite a bill, huh? Now, we should also tell you a piece of trivia that beer that Norm's drinking is near beer, non-alcoholic, and they add salt to it to give it a bit more foam. Now, in just a short while, Jay Leno will take center stage here in front as 1,000 or so people have gathered to watch the Tonight Show broadcast here for the first time in years live from here, and you'll see it, of course, right here on 11 Alive. But earlier tonight, we talked with Jay about taking his show on the road, possibly to Atlanta.
Fine, fine. We got to do the show in Atlanta sometime. That'd be great fun.
You know, we were talking about this earlier. You're thinking about taking the show on the road around the country?
Yeah, if something comes up, you know, like when spring comes or some big event like that.
That's right. How about the Olympics? We got that in a couple of years. Let's not wait that long.
That might be fun. That might be fun, too. I think it'd be fun. Atlanta would be a good town to do it out of.
I can't believe how Jay Leno, nice guy. And again, you'll see him in a short time. He'll be taking the center stage. And if you get a chance, watch the audience shots. You may see someone you know, if you get my drift. That's it from here, John. Terry, back to you.
You devil, you. Have a good time.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care.
Now, Fred's live at a local Cheers party, and we'll hear from him in just a few minutes.
Now it's time to hear from Johnny, and Terry and I were busy with the news. We couldn't really watch Cheers, but we did notice you in the Weather Center captivated by
glued to the screen. Yes, in fact, it's the first one I've seen the whole show.
So we're going to get the forecast you had at 6 o'clock, right?
Yeah, just about right. We've got nice weather for you out there tonight. The skies are fair. It is going to be a little cooler than normal for this time of year, but hey, we'll accept that. 58 degrees out at the airport right now and 56 degrees here in Midtown. High temperature was 72, the low was 53, and that made the average temperature for today 7 degrees below normal for this date, and just a trace of rainfall recorded out at the airport since midnight last night. We've had a little upper air disturbance that has been moving across the northern part of Georgia during the afternoon and evening hours, and I think you can pick it up right up here. Here it comes right here, and it moved right across Georgia during the afternoon, gave us even a few sprinkles right here in Midtown. That system has now moved on over into South Carolina, where it still produces a little bit of shower activity, and behind it we have fair skies now. Those skies should continue to be fair on through the early morning hours, and with the fair skies, it's going to be rather cool tomorrow morning, getting down to about 51 degrees. Here is the big high-pressure system that will be controlling our weather for the next couple of days, actually building on in over the southeastern states and giving us those cool nights and mild to warm days. Plenty of sunshine for Friday. Look what happens on Saturday. High pressure still with us, and it looks like it's going to hold right on through the weekend. Here's the forecast for the rest of tonight through the early morning hours. It'll be like this. It's going to be fair and cool. Low temperature about 51 degrees when you get up, get ready to go to work tomorrow morning. Will be a sunny and mild day on Friday with a high temperature of 72 degrees. Saturday will be sunny and warm, 50 and 79. A little more moisture in here gives us partly cloudy skies on Sunday and Monday, but a little warmer too. 81 on Sunday and 82 degrees on Monday.
Looking good. Thank you.
Our Fred Khalil is out with the Cheers gang tonight. Fred?
We are live at Frankie's, and coming up next, we're going to tell you about Deion Sanders. Go ahead, go for it, guys. Sports Live coming up.
Friend, I want you to experience the Holy Land as I have. It's a very special place. There's a timeless quality to it. And here, where Jesus worked and taught, you'll find your faith enriched. At least once in your life, you should see his home, Israel. Go this year. And to help, I'll send you this Holy Land travel kit. It's full of useful travel advice, and it's free.
For your free travel kit to Israel, call 1-800-932-3888, 1-800-932-3888.
Protect your treasured dining room tabletop from burns, scratches, and stains by ordering a deluxe table pad direct from the factory for as low as $29.95. Identical pads are sold at retail for over $100, but order direct and save up to 70%. All pads are fully insulated, available in wood grain or solid color, fold for easy storage, will fit any shaped table, and carry a factory guarantee of up to 20 years.
Call now and receive free table pad samples plus information on how to save up to 70% on your deluxe dining room table pad. Call 1-800-428-5100. That's 1-800-428-5100. Call now.
Did you know that it's not too late to file a claim for injuries caused by the Dulcan Shield IUD? Between 1970 and late 1974, thousands of women used the Dulcan Shield. Many of these women experienced serious medical problems associated with its use. The law firm of Charles H. Johnson and Associates feels strongly that each case of a woman hurt by the Dulcan Shield should be looked into to ensure that the injured person receives the full financial compensation she may be entitled to.
Golf Digest introduces 8 ways to a better golf game. It can help you experience a game that's better all around. Get the 8 ways to a better golf game video. It's guaranteed to improve your game, and it's free with your paid subscription. Order 12 issues of Golf Digest for just $19.77 now, and get the latest video free. Call 800-251-9900. That's 800-251-9900.
Fred's playing Cheers tonight.
Yeah.
You lucky thing.
So we are live here at Frankie's. It's a very, very big Cheers party. 96 Rock and 11 Alive putting it on. We want to drive it home, though, that we were the first to tell you about Deion Sanders here on 11 Alive. Deion and the Atlanta Braves have come to an understanding on a new multi-year contract that is baseball exclusive. Now, we told you at 6, and John Sherholtz confirmed it later tonight. The Braves did not want this released yet for a number of reasons. First, I think they wanted to tell the other players. They wanted to make sure that Deion would show in New York, and they didn't want to announce anything while Deion was on the disqualified list. Now, here's what we've learned are the specifics of this deal for Deion Sanders. It is $11 million over 3 years. He will get approximately $4 million of that in the first year, and the Braves will not have an option in the 4th year. So that was a major stumbling block. You take out the option year, and I've been told that Eugene Parker, Sanders' agent, has been negotiating a part-time deal with the Atlanta Falcons. Well, coming up next, a special Cheers edition of Separated at Birth, plus the NBA playoffs, and we will show you puck. Coming next in sports.
Where the hype ends, the real story of sports begins.
I took the growth hormone. It may cost me my life.
Now Time Life Video brings you blood, sweat, and glory. A heart-pumping look inside the minds of the athletes who live and die to win. Your first video, For the Thrill of It, takes you on a bone-rattling run down skiing's most dangerous downhill course and into thin air with those who live to cheat death one last time. Other videos give you an insider's look at sport's greatest moments and show you the fine line that separates competition from all-out warfare. Call this toll-free number now to order For the Thrill of It for just $9.99. Other videos will arrive at the regular price, but there's no commitment to buy.
I am the greatest.
Call now.
Call 1-800-457-1199 or send $9.99 plus $3.23 shipping and handling to Blood, Sweat, and Glory, Grand Central Station, P.O. Box 5294, Department B-464, New York, New York, 10163.
Yeah, that's me. And it still seems like a dream. But you don't have to be an Olympic marathoner to enjoy the benefits of running. Hi, I'm Frank Shorter from Runner's World magazine. Did you know that in as little as 20 minutes, 3 times a week, you can trim down, shape up, and have more energy than you ever thought possible? This free book shows you how. It's filled with super training tips for stronger and smoother running. And it's yours free, just for trying Runner's World.
Every month, Runner's World tells you all about high-energy meals, training secrets, staying healthy, even buying the perfect running shoes. Call now for your no-risk trial subscription to Runner's World. You'll get 12 big issues for almost half off the cover price. Just 3 payments of $5.99. There's no obligation. If you're not completely satisfied, get back every penny you paid. And with your paid subscription, you'll receive the exclusive Runner's World training log. Call the toll-free number on your screen now.
And we are back live at Frankie's in the NBA. Larry Brown has resigned as coach of the LA Clippers. He and old friend Donnie Walsh are expected to reunite in Indiana. Walsh, the Pacers GM, expected to hire Brown as the team's coach. Tonight, the Spurs and Suns met in Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinals. Charles Barkley with the game winner with 1.8 to play. Last chance for the Spurs, no good. And the Suns win it 102-100. They advance to the Western Conference Finals. One score to tell you about in the third quarter, Seattle and Houston. tied at 54. Seattle leads that series 3-2. Time now to show you puck. The Islanders in Montreal in the Wales Conference Finals. This is in overtime, and Guy Charbonneau will hit the game winner. The Isles lose to Montreal 2-1. So Montreal leads that series 3-0. In high school baseball today, Pace Academy beat Irwin County to win the Class A state championship. At Marist this afternoon, the War Eagles shut out their opponent, Lakeside Evans. Mark Watson gets the final out. Final score 2-0. Marist leads that best of 3, 1-0. Well, tonight's final night of Cheers was not only the end of a great show, but the end of a great career. You know, Ted Danson's character, Sam Malone, was a former relief pitcher, Mayday Malone. Well, Mike Stanton feels close to Mayday during his retirement.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it would be so emotional.
I can't believe they're doing this to me. Cheers was my crutch. I'm done. I'm gonna quit tomorrow. I'm hanging them up.
16 saves, and that's the end of the road.
That's it. Sam was my inspiration.
A reliever from Boston, from your home state there, is retiring tonight. Sam Malone, he's gone.
Yeah, it's another crafty lefty down the tubes. But yeah, it's gonna be a sad night. But it was a great show, and they had a great run, and just have to watch it in syndication now, I guess.
The Braves with Dion in New York tomorrow night. Finally tonight, a special Cheers edition of Separated at Birth. There we are. Our favorite mailman, Clippy Clavin, John Ratzenberger, and Mets manager twice removed, Davey Johnson. And that's our special Cheers edition of Separated at Birth. We're live at Frankie's. Back with more sports tomorrow.
That was a good one, Fred. Thank you.
Okay.
We've got a breaking story from Rome coming up in just a moment. Stay with us.
If this were the only reason to come to Alabama, it'd still be worth every minute. Call us right now for your free Alabama book of surprises. You'll find one surprise after another. Enough surprises to fill a vacation. Enough memories to last a lifetime. Alabama. Special moments you'll want to keep forever.
Did you know that it's not too late to file a claim for injuries caused by the Dulcan Shield IUD? Between 1970 and late 1974, thousands of women used the Dulcan Shield. Many of these women experienced serious medical problems associated with its use. The law firm of Charles H. Johnson and Associates feels strongly that each case of a woman hurt by the Dulcan Shield should be looked into to ensure that the injured person receives the full financial compensation she may be entitled to.
Every month, enter the world of fine interior design. Enter the fascinating world of Architectural Digest. View a pied-à-terre in Paris and an English designer's bright and airy London home. Call now and get 12 issues of Architectural Digest for only $29.95. You'll also receive absolutely free Celebrity Homes Revisited, a tour that includes the homes of Jeffrey Bean, Pavarotti, and Cher.
Call toll-free 800-848-2500. That's 800-848-2500.
Just into our newsroom, a breaking story from Northwest Georgia.
The police and GBI in Rome have broken up a $100,000 cocaine deal. 2 South Georgia men and a couple from Tennessee are under arrest tonight. Police say the 4 were meeting in Rome to buy and sell the drug. Agents confiscated 4 kilos of cocaine worth over $80,000, as well as $109,000 in cash.
We'll have the very latest on that story on our next newscast at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
We'll be looking for you tomorrow night. Join us then. Good night.
What if you couldn't afford to feed your child and she died?
What if you couldn't get medicine for your little boy and he died?
What if you raised your child in abject poverty with no hope for a better future? The situation is very bad. That's why Christian Children's Fund is here now. And our first goal is to get you to sponsor 1 child. So that child will have good food, medicine, clean water, and will learn to read and write. You send $21 a month to Christian Children's Fund, and we can do all that. Sponsor one child in this village. You'll get her letters, her pictures. You'll know about her life, her family, her sadness, her happiness. And you'll see the wonderful results of the most important thing you'll do in your life. Call Christian Children's Fund now. The number is still on your screen. If you can love a child, please help.
Call, and we'll send you the name and photo of a child you can sponsor.
Golf Digest introduces 8 ways to a better golf game. It can help you experience a game that's better all around. Get the 8 ways to a better golf game video. It's guaranteed to improve your game, and it's free with your paid subscription. Order 12 issues of Golf Digest for just $19.77 now, and get the latest video free. Call 800-251-9900. That's 800-251-9900.
Meet Daytime Talk's new star.
She's a wicked little minx, isn't she?
Vicky. Vicky. Weekdays at 10 on 11 Alive.
Spring into recycling this Saturday with 11 Alive.
Live from the Bull and Finch, the Cheers Bar in Boston, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Featuring Bradford Marsalis with Penny Kirkland.